Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. It's probably been about 2 months since I last posted a video. Thanks to a family health problem and other things, I've struggled to find the time. Well, not so much the time, really. I've not been in the right frame of mind to do these videos. In fact, I came that close to deleting my channel and never bothering. But hopefully things are starting to slowly resolve themselves. So I thought I'd better try and do another one. But first off, I've got to apologise because in that period I've not even been watching any other VC videos at all, and I really enjoy them, and so I apologize to those people that have been doing videos that I normally watch and would comment on. I'll try and catch up over the next week with those that have been posted. So yesterday was the penultimate Kendal record fair of the year, so I thought maybe a bit of retail therapy might help my mood, and it did. Yeah, it was a good day out. I came back with about a dozen albums, as is my want. So I thought I'd quickly come on and show what I managed to pick up. So first off, we have the great Deep Purple with their Concerto for Group and Orchestra. This is Deep Purple with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Malcolm Arnold. Now this was, I think, the first album done by the Mark II lineup. It came even before In Rock, but it's really a John Lord project. It doesn't get great reviews, but I've always liked it. Next up, a bit of jazz fusion with the Mahavishnu Orchestra. And this is their album Visions of the Emerald Beyond. Now, there's no credits or anything. Oh, yes, there is. Didn't see this the first time I looked at the album. There is this is the second lineup, I think, of the Mahavishnu Orchestra, with Jean-Luc Ponty on violin, Michael Walden on drums, Ralph Armstrong on bass, and Gail Moran on keyboards and vocals, as well as the inimitable John McLaughlin. I prefer the first iteration of the band, but you can't go wrong with a bit of John McLaughlin. So looking forward to that. Every trip recently to a record fair, I've seemed to come back with a Melanie album, and yesterday was no different. This is her 1970 album, Candles in the Wind. I've been really getting into her music of late, so I'm looking forward to this. This is the one with her version of the Stones' Ruby Tuesday. Next up, a bit of country rock, and this is the New Riders of the Purple Sage with their 1976 album, New Riders. The first 3 or 4 albums are superb. This isn't meant to be as strong, but I'm sure it's going to be enjoyable. I mean, with a lineup of David Nelson, John Dawson, Skip Battin, Spencer Dryden and Buddy Cage, it couldn't be anything else. They do a number of covers on here. They do Hard to Handle, the Otis Redding number. They do Chuck Berry's You Never Can Tell, Loudon Wainwright's A Swimming Song, and they do another Stones cover, Dead Flowers. So it's that one. Next one is Daniel Lanois, and I think this is his first solo album, Acadie, from 1980, I think. Better known, obviously, I think, as a producer, but I had this on, I think I still must have it on CD somewhere, got it when it first came out, and it's an excellent album. Not heard it in quite a number of years. I'm looking forward to reacquainting myself with this. It was only £2. Next up is Hudson Ford and their album Free Spirit. Doesn't say which year. This is the early 70s. Obviously, Hudson Ford were members of the Strawbs, broke off to go solo. I've not heard any of their albums. I think they did about 3 or 4 albums, but I've always liked the hit singles that they had, like Burn Baby Burn and others. So I'm looking forward to giving that a listen. Next up, this was a sealed copy by the band Blues Image and their album Open, which I think is from 70 or 71. This is a repress, a reissue on Oak Records, which I think is an Italian label. I can't remember if they're American or Canadian, but they had a big hit, I think in about 1970, with the track Ride, Captain Ride, which is on this album. Obviously it's a sort of blues rock. They do a version of La Bamba and Parchment Farm. It doesn't get great reviews, but not bad. But for a sealed copy cheap, I thought I'd give it a go. And sticking with the blues, we have one of the legends of the blues, Lightning Hopkins and Blues in My Bottle. This is a 1961 album. I don't know if this is a repress or is the original, on the Prestige Bluesville label. You can't go wrong with Lightning Hopkins. This is one where he's unaccompanied. He plays acoustic guitar rather than his usual electric. So it's probably going to be more in that sort of country blues style. And one of my favourite blues acts, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, or Brownie McGee and Sonny Terry, get it right way around, at the Second Fret. This is a live album. I love this duo. Again, country blues. This is a 1962 gig, originally released on Prestige Bluesville. This is a later reissue on Prestige. Should be great. And last time, I think when I went to a record fair, I picked up John Martyn's Outside In, or Inside Out. I can never remember which way around. But so I was really pleased to see this time. This is Bless the Weather, his 1971 album. I think this was his 3rd album. Great singer-songwriter, especially in the 70s. This has people like Danny Thompson and Richard Thompson playing on it. So that will be excellent. Let's get on to the more proggy items, I suppose. And we start off with an album by the French, I think is he French? Igor Vakovich, though his name doesn't sound French. And his album Le Feu d'Or. And I've got one other album by him which is excellent. You get a sheet in with details of the artist and his albums and his history. Makes for interesting reading. And I'll just read off the hype sticker which has fallen down here, to give you an idea of the music if you don't already know his style of music. The whole record oozes a dreamy, unsettling, surrealistic atmosphere, enhanced by the spoken word introductions that open a series of mesmerizing electronic pieces which range from the gentle to the hypnotic. Animal sounds, ritual horns, wordless vocals, and assorted metal banging and scraping add to the whole mix for a landmark sound that will evolve in future albums. Brilliant. So if that sounds like your style of thing, I'd recommend checking out Igor Vakovich. If I can get it back in. And finally, we have 2 krautrock albums. First off is Tangerine Dream's Underwater Sunlight. This is from 1986 and features Paul Haslinger along with Chris Franke and Edgar Froese. The Haslinger period and onwards is when I gave up really on Tangerine Dream until the last couple of years. But this is, I think, the only studio album by them that I rate. This and the live album Live Miles were good, but what came after I wasn't keen on. But this now, I think, completes my early Tangerine Dream collection. And finally, we have Ashrae Temple and Gin Rose at the Royal Festival Hall. This was a new sealed copy, a recent reissue, a recent issue, I suppose. It's the first time I think it's been on vinyl. I've got it on CD, and this was Klaus Schulze and Manuel Gutschin as a duo from a concert done in London, the Royal Festival Hall, in April of 2000. I actually went to this concert. It was put on by Julian Cope as a part of his cornucopia sort of festival, mini festival. I was originally disappointed when the 2 of them just came on stage, because I was hoping for a full Ashrae Temple, reunion with Hermit Henker on bass. But unfortunately, I think he'd given up on the music industry by this point. But it was an excellent gig, and more Ashrae than Ashrae Temple in style, obviously, with Schulze on keyboards and Gutschin on guitar. This is a 3-sided double album. It's great electronic music. So that's what I got yesterday. Like I said, this week I'll hopefully catch up on everybody's videos and try and comment on them. Apologies again for not having done that. And hopefully I'll feel more in the mood to do some more videos. I've got my next krautrock one, I think 50% done. And I've got 1 or 2 other ideas, and I need to catch up, because even though I haven't been in the mood to do videos, stuff has still been coming into the house. Not being listened to as much, I'm afraid, but I can't stop by. Anyway, I hope everybody else is fine, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Cheers.